Various designs which I could talk about. We have the diamond, we have the traditional V, and we also have different angles these days. And we do converting of rackets so that if you have a Wilson or a Babolat and you want to put two handles on it, you just bring it to us and we put the two handles on it. We also make a 29-inch one handle that's designed for using two-handed both sides, like Monticello's, and at one point there were 4 double handle both sides men in the top 100: Fabrice Santoro, Byron Black, Jan Michael Gamble, and Ramon Sluter. So we're about promoting healthier tennis, but we feel like we also get competitive advantages, and it doesn't just go within tennis. Personal story is I had a really bad back. You know, at some point I would play one-handled tennis and literally fall down with paralysis because I had become lopsided. And if you just do something over and over and only using one side of your body, eventually we feel like you end up in pain. And there's so many advantages to being symmetrical and integrated, and memory and creativity and problem solving that comes from, you know, making a committed effort. I think maybe one of the most documented ones would be the guy who wrote the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen McCovey. And he goes in there that, you know, you should start to brush your teeth both sides, you know, use both your hands, eat with the left hand. And what this integrative process does is it makes you a better leader, but it brings the, you know, so that you're using both, there's a connection that you build between your two brains that makes you a better problem solver. We feel like helps your memory, helps you know, your posture, your longevity. The rackets and guys like Ralph have been really and they've been beneficial for us, and we're out there, you know, still living the dream, setting our goals, our intentions, our purpose, and we find that it helps us keep going and stay healthy and stay in shape, and we feel like it gives us something to really look forward to. And I wish I had a diamond here, but you can look it up on the website, naturaltennis.com. A good intro for myself, ranked, world ranked numerous times through the past 20 years on and off the computer. I still think the best moments, you know, found for my life were when that last ball bounced and I knew that I was going to be ranked for a year and could get into multiple tournaments, and sort of gave me like a passport to play and get into more professional tournaments to make, you know, more money, to have more great performances and experiences. Inspiration about how to use our racket and just what I would give advice for people that wanted to get involved in two-handle tennis. Now Ralph, a lot of people buy them as training devices just to use, because the beauty of this racket is that if you don't rotate and use your core and turn sideways, the ball doesn't go in. So it's, you know, it really forces you to turn because of the two, you know, with a one handle you can kind of like flap your wrist around and not turn or rotate, and the ball can still go straight. But with this, you really have to get that which is what modern tennis is all about if you want to be a better competitor. So this is how we use it. You know, we just turn. If the basic philosophy is that if the ball is super fast at your body and you needed stability, like you already have a lot of pace coming at your body, that's when we hit our two-handed shots. And there's you know, a big advantage because we feel like you have a lot more leverage and stability. If the ball's slow that you're playing and you want to hit an aggressive shot, we call it, and you want to produce racket head speed. That's the name of the game in most sports. Bat head speed, golf, you know, in golf it's club head speed. So if a ball is slow and we have to generate an aggressive shot, we would use one hand, you know, or you can even use a one-handed backhand. You know, this is the back fist is said to, you know, be able to produce, you know, I think Stan Wawrinka is in the finals of the French Open, and I always say his one-handed backhand may be the deadly, or the the best shot in professional tennis, in my opinion, right now, because he can hit a winner from anywhere. But so you could hit a one-hander, or you could hit a, two forehands. Everyone says run around your backhand and hit forehands. Imagine if you had two forehands, and especially with the inside-out forehand that you get from our V. This is the most popular design through the years, the V. It gives you sort of a natural inside-out forehand. So if you had two of those, you really got the guy going this way, that way. So, and then the reason that I switched to the racket would be this front handle shot. So we hit primarily back handle shots. This is a back handle, two-handed backhand, or a left-handed forehand, and vice versa on the right side. But we also, when we're at the net, the same philosophy. If the ball's fast at our body, boom, two hands. There's a lot of stability here. Almost every ATP pro now, including the Bryan brothers, when they're at the net, they're using a single handle racket and they have to hit a reflex volley. They always grab with the other hand and do it. So with ours, we're already there, and so it's the same. And then if it's a slower volley and you need to create more stick, that's when we take a hand off. And then sometimes we even hit front handle volleys. So when you first get it, you learn this shot. This is called the flip. See how Lionel Burt, the inventor, used to tell me, make the head light. See how I'm going from back handle right now to front handle quickly. We serve like this, so we get this sort of leverage that you would get with a hockey stick. I'm told that not one professional hockey player uses a straight stick. Ironically, in tennis, 99% of the people are using a straight stick, but we're giving you the option to create. So this, whenever you serve or you hit a smash, you're pulling, the front handle. After you flip, you quickly flip, and as you go forward, it sort of centripetally snaps itself. We call that the counterbalance. As any double handle player will tell you, after the initial 7 days of getting used to the new contact, or 10 days, we start to love this counterbalance because it's a centripetal natural force. Almost, I would equate it to the natural energy that you can get from, say, surfing on a wave. You get this, that's why we all do it. There's some sort of feeling. We get that when we play tennis. We get this counterbalance. And as a player before, I was the type of guy with a smash that, if it was a little bit off, it was like foul shooting in basketball or something. It was a confident shot. If I made the first 2 overheads in a match, I would make the next 30. But if, it was a little windy and I didn't tell my wrist to snap at the right time, because I didn't have that centripetal snap, then the ball would, I might miss one and then I might miss 20. It was an on or off shot. Now it's the double handle players almost don't even have to warm up their overheads, because it's just such a natural shot that we show up with. We just basically swing at the ball, and the racket, like a seesaw would, centripetally goes over and creates a lot of leverage and does the smashing for you. It's that way on the serve. We love that pull down effect. We feel like we get a little more kick, we get a little more angle on everything we do whenever we hit a. And sports like pickleball, ping pong, and stuff, and these sports don't really want all that leverage and competitive advantages, so that's why we tend to stress the health, and that's where guys like Ralph Zaransky come in, because they've studied brain chemistry, they've studied the parts of the brain, they can tell you what the medulla does, they can tell you what what all these things do, the connection, the hippocampus, but it's the corpus callosum that we feel like you build, you get integrated. So that's why we stress this postural advantages to being able to have everything lined up and be able to walk, but also the I want to say, dopamine levels that go up and are created by constantly developing both sides of your brain, both sides of your body. The fingertips grow the brain. That's what this program's all about, is learning to use both the fingertips, and there's little things that, but if you're just using one side, developing one side, same as it would physically, you get sort of lopsided, or you get overly competitive. You get, we always, even when you start this journey with a two-handle racket and developing your ambidextrous and your brain integration, your right side has had more messages. So you have to start sending those messages to the left side and hitting those shots, even if it's just in practice. And, but there will be times where he says, hey, let me just win this. And that's okay. all of us that started this racket, there was sort of a spirituality beyond it. We come from different religions, Christians. We studied a lot of Buddhist philosophy. A lot of our philosophy is, full intention, no attachment. That's why we're able to keep going, showing up, competing, and doing our best. And then when we're done, no attachment. That's more of a Buddhist saying. If you ever get one of our freestyle rackets, it has a lot of the sayings painted on to it. Full intention, no attachment. Your suffering comes from attachment. We do our best in competition and let the chips fall, but we're not attached to winning. And then that's all you can do. But if you're sort of lopsided, and you can see it sometimes in people that, that they're super competitive, what we feel like Ralph's. Luckily, there's people like Ralph, and in this world who can get us ambidextrously faster, and they've researched these technologies over 35 years. Come up with these wall exercises, hand-eye coordination, throwing the balls, doing all those things that can accelerate us to get to those, so that we don't just have to go out and just exclusively start using the other side, even though that's pretty. You look at the success of Sharapova and Nadal. If you see him at the French Open signing autographs, he does it right-handed. He plays tennis left-handed. I'm told that Uncle Tony, tied his original coach, tied his right arm behind his back when he first went to play tennis and wouldn't let him. I don't know if that's the best idea. I would say to raise a kid, you can see it when you're teaching kids, anybody out there, when they first step on a tennis court, that it is so natural for them when you throw them a ball to hit it here, and then you throw it over here, and then they hit it here, and then as humans, we're always looking, oh, look, he's left-handed. Oh, look, he's right-handed. And we foster that sort of from the beginning. We and this idea that there is a dominant side, as opposed to like if we fostered, creating ambidextrous players from the beginning, so that when the ball comes over here, they're hitting a one-handed, two hands this way, anything. One of our sayings throughout anything we do to one side, we do to the other. And until you're there fully integrated, I say minimally you do it 3 times more on your weaker side every time you do it on the. So if I'm doing the handwriting, my penmanship's really good because I've had millions of messages on the right side. My left hand is now catching up because I'm doing it 3 times more. Anything I write right-handed, I sit down and write it left-handed 3 times just to get more messages, to build those connections, those wavelengths, sent to the other side. And that's most of the injury, the things, and then the added benefit of vibration coming down 2 handles can only reduce, but it also, I feel like, takes a lot of the work off your wrist, the 2 handle, just because this other handle's always helping, either pushing or pulling and counterbalancing, and that's just, is there anything else, right?